Guys, what is up? We have a very special guest today. He is with us right now as I speak. It is Mr. Today I Grew Up. We're going to talk, we're going to chat, we're going to have a good time. Guys, this is a Not Guy official interview. He will be right after this intro. Today I Grew Up. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you, Joey.
Good to see you again this week, right?
Yeah, man. It's been fun. Yeah, we recently hung out, for those who don't know out there. I posted a photo on Instagram, but yeah, we had a good time.
Yes, we did. It was fun. I had a great time. I got to try that new drink. What is it? Cookies and Scream?
Yeah, Cookies and Scream. It's like a Frappuccino with blue whipped cream and like little mini cookie cereal ice cream bits, and it's crazy.
It was really good. Let me. I'm gonna bring up a picture.
Oh yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Rad Coffee.
This is us right here.
Yeah, that's true.
Rad Coffee, yes.
Yes, Rad Coffee. It's in Upland, California. So it's a really cool place.
It was good, dude. I really loved it. I didn't get to eat those cookies though. I threw it away.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of sugar, so I mean, it's not for everybody.
I loved it. It was good. It was a lot of fun. We took some selfies.
Yeah.
There was like horror shops there.
Yeah, a lot of horror stuff, which is funny because I didn't realize it was kind of like an artsy horror community, I guess.
It really is. Yeah. That was pretty cool. I'm gonna show a clip actually. Check this out.
Cancel for display. Like, oh, it was like the last.
Dude, that is amazing. Wait, they don't sell it?
Yeah, they do sell them. Really? Oh.
We're cheesy.
I'm like, I don't know my.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was creepy. That was.
Yeah, the Annabelle doll and the Chucky doll, and they sold a few like things like that in there. It's just like all horror. So
yeah, you know what? I would never get one of those dolls. Would you ever get one of those? Would you ever modify one of those dolls?
I mean,
and make it movie accurate.
I mean, I do live with this one, so.
Oh my god!
I live with this.
He's a good doll, right? Or he's a bad doll?
No, he's like a bratty teenager. I have to like keep him in line because like he says and does things that I'm like, I don't approve of, and it's fun though. It's a good.
And when he behaves bad, you just stuff him in the closet.
Yeah, he lives in the closet because he creeps me out at night. So,
dude, that's funny.
We can bring him back later. We'll bring him back a little later.
That's funny. Well, yeah. Thank you so much for joining this live. It's a lot of fun to have you on, guys. If you have any questions in the comments, if I see them, I'll try to bring it on.
Oh yeah.
And then we also have backstage a few people who are gonna ask questions. Leonite, Fred, and Poke.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, because I got a lot going on right now with the channel. Like I do Mail Mondays, I do Fan Show Fridays right now. So I do a lot. I give fans a lot of opportunities to be part of my show or part of my YouTube channel. Because I kind of like to think of my YouTube channel as a community where anybody's accepted, positive place, safe place where people can just come and just make fun content and we can all enjoy it together, so.
Very true.
Yeah.
So right now you're creating content. You're just like building up your channel. Your channel's been growing. You're at like
72,000 now.
72,000 subscribers. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're almost going to reach 100K. That's exciting. That's a big milestone for YouTubers.
Yeah.
So congrats on that.
I'm excited. I think this year's the year.
That's awesome. What's your day-to-day life? What's the process in making this content?
Yeah. So what I do is Monday through Friday, I upload videos between 12 and 3 o'clock p.m. It's always kind of variable on whenever I finish the video. And then, fans have something to look forward to. I have that consistency since last year, actually, when I quit my job in October to do this full time. That's when my headspace changed. And I thought, okay, let me be the crazy guy who can deliver content daily, Monday through Friday, one video a day, be consistent. And that's what I've done this whole year so far. Flawless. I have not missed a day. Even if I go on vacation, I'll work double hard to finish videos and premiere them later while I'm on vacation.
Wait a minute, hold on. You have not missed a day. What does that look like? What does that mean?
So that means
in posting a video?
I plan my weeks ahead of time. So I have at least 2 weeks in advance planned of videos Monday through Friday. So that's at least 10 videos that I have pre-planned for 2 weeks. And whether I'm going on vacation, that might offset something. So what I'll do is I'll do the work and I'll plan out my week and be like, okay, 2 videos on Tuesday, 2 videos on Wednesday, and then next week I release those because I might be traveling or something, so.
So you're like working ahead and stuff.
I'm always
like...
working ahead, and it helps because then it gives me breaks and then I could just relax. So, so it's fun. It's a balance. It's a work-life balance where I work really hard, but at the same time I have to remember to play hard too. And
now
give myself time.
Exactly. Give yourself time even for the creative process.
Yeah, exactly.
You need space.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you say my headspace. Like I got into the headspace. What do you mean by that?
So
sounds interesting.
So my head is interesting when it comes to like creating ideas. Some people like to jot things on paper. Some people like to watch movies or shows to inspire them. I do all the above. Like there's no one set method. All I know is that I'm a very visual person, and I usually see the videos created before they're created. So in my mind, I think of an idea and then I kind of make it in my head, and then I watch it in my mind like I already made it. And if I like what I see, I put it to work. That's just how I work. So
that's cool.
I'll make videos, and if I like the idea of how it's looking, I'll do it in real life, basically. That's how I do it.
That's awesome. Guys, if you have any comments, I'll bring you guys on. I saw Toy Story NL, Lee Knight's on here.
Oh, nice.
Just a normal orange.
Shout out to my friend Jordy, Toy Story NL. He's a big helper of my channel. He's actually did the latest graphic for my channel. And
is it this one? Is it this?
This? Toy Story NL. He's from the Netherlands, actually. So him and I are good friends, and we've done a lot of collabs on my channel. He's the Toy Story master. He actually comes up with mod ideas too, and he's actually helped me with a lot of my mod videos. So he's kind of like we're like the Batman and Robin of the Toy Story mod world.
Really? You guys collaborate together, or you guys work together?
We do both. We do it all. We've done collabs. We've also done ideas. We'll help ship each other things if we need something for the channel. So we're really good friends, and he helps me a lot with the channel. And he does great content. He doesn't do this full time. It's more like on the side, but he's a big influence, and he loves to help my channel. So it's great.
Toy Story NL says hey.
Yeah, tell him I say hello, and everybody go check out Toy Story NL. He does great content too. So
and then Lena says, "Who's Batman and who's Robin?"
I feel like I'm Robin sometimes because I'm shorter than him. I'm pretty sure he's taller than me in real life. So,
that's funny.
No, but we have equal weight. Like he's a really smart guy. He's really cool. And really
that's
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So guys, and I'm gonna bring on if you guys have any question, people who are on backstage, just wave your hand, and then I'll bring you guys on. Ask the question, and then he's gonna answer it.
Yeah.
3, 2. Okay, Fred has a question.
Hello.
What's up?
All right, I have a big question.
Sure.
What's up today? Today I grew up.
Good to see you.
So it's good. It's great to see you as well. It's good to meet you again. The giant Woody.
Yes.
I have to ask. Did you buy it or did you build it? Like, did you make it?
Okay, so Giant Woody, he is made in 1995 by a company called Frito-Lay. They only made about 150 of these worldwide to promote Toy Story 1 in 1995. So these things would be found in like the shopping malls, basically to sell the toys and promote the movie. And these went out of production. They never sold them again. I found a guy in the UK on the Toy Story Collection Facebook group who actually sold it to me for $550, which is actually a steal because these things go for $1,200, $1,500 on eBay now. So they're very expensive. I don't have the original hat. I do have a fake one for him. But this is what I did that I want to submit to the Guinness Book of World Records.
What is it? What?
I created a pull string on him that actually works because he didn't come with this. So I have a video on my channel if you guys want to see how I made this. I got a craft store pull string ring. I put the white duct tape on it so it looks white. And when you pull a string, he actually talks.
Joey, can you believe that?
Yes. Yes, I can believe that.
You're looking the wrong way.
So I made a working pull string ring.
That's awesome.
And it really works, and it's just really fun to
And is there like a little radio in there or like some type of speaker?
So it's actually a vest that you can take off. I didn't damage the doll at all. It's in a pouch right there. So the voice box mechanism I made is inside this pouch that's sewn on the inside of his vest.
That is so insane.
So technically what I'm going to do, guys, here's a secret. I'm gonna get an adult-sized vest, and I want to wear one so that you can pull the string on my back, and I'll be Woody, and it works.
Oh, that's funny.
So I want to do that.
Wait, is that an actual thing? Is that like? Is there like a?
No, it doesn't exist yet. You know,
Hey, that can be like a product that people buy, like a little clothes.
True.
I would buy that. Pull my string.
I'd buy it.
That's the thing. I create things that don't exist, you know, and
that's awesome.
That's what I like to do on my channel. I like to make impossible into possible, and I always tell people, like, let's think outside the box. Let's work hard. It doesn't exist. Let's make it, you know.
Yeah, it's always good to like create stuff that like aren't around, because then people would think, oh, like this is something brand new.
Exactly. Kind of like when I got this awesome Stinky Pete and Woody 2-pack, right?
Which is on the road to me right here.
So I'm giving this away to one lucky fan who contributes to my fan show. For those of you who don't know what the fan show is, you submit a video, and you if I pick your video, you'll get a drawing for free. And then if you win, I send this to your house free of charge. I pay for shipping. It doesn't matter where you live. I think last year I gave away a signature collection Jesse, and I paid like the $80 to ship it to Australia. Somebody in Australia won, I think. But
can we see it up close? Yeah. Kind of like a. Can we see it up close?
Oh yeah. So this is brand new from Mattel. Came out in 2021, so it's brand new. And obviously it's 7-inch scale, so he's not movie size. But the box is pretty close to the movie. It's not exactly, but what I did is showed people how to modify it so that it does work like the movie. So this is my modified box. So if you can see, I separated it, and I added. See, like the back. Here's what it looks like in the movie, and this is what they gave us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I made it look like the movie, and then I also made a front flap here on the front, where he can actually open up like the movie. So that's how it was in the movie. So that's why I wanted to do that. And then I even put a fake window in there. So that was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
So I do stuff like that, and I inspire people to like make projects at home. And right now during the pandemic, you know, people are stuck at home. And so what I try to do is inspire people like, hey, you're sitting around. If you have time, try this mod, you know, maybe you can do it for you, since they don't sell it in the store like that. You know?
And it's a cool way. It's like another way of playing with your toys.
Oh yeah.
Like, totally. You know, you buy a toy to play with it, but in this way you can like modify it to make it your own.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So
fun.
Any questions from the chat? Any questions from backstage?
Yeah. So basically, I've been doing this for a long time, but it's been fun.
Today, Grub, I have a question for you.
Yeah. What's up?
If you got the DeLorean, what time would you go back to, and what would you fix in your past?
That's a good question. I think if I could go back in time,
that is a good question.
I would probably go back to the time where I was like 21, because when I was 21 and like became legal age, I was in college. I feel like I made a lot of poor financial decisions. Like I got a credit card, right? Or you get like certain student loans out, and then like looking back in the future, like I'm like, man, I got in debt when I could have avoided that debt, you know? So I think I would go back to fix my financial future. Basically, that's how I would fix.
That's a good idea. Financial.
Because
I mean, I made a financial mistake the other day.
Yeah, what'd you do?
I got $100 note, because we have $100 note in Australia, and we're at the arcade, and you know how I've got the card on the money on the card. Yeah. I used that whole $100 and put it on the card, and I had 100 money. That was good. But then I didn't have any money to put back into my other account.
Oh, yeah.
So I only have $53 in my debit card. So I've got no money to put in to my own account. So that was a big financial mistake I made.
That's funny.
I want to tell a lot of young people out there, you know, like it's stuff you don't think about when you're like younger or a kid or a teenager or early adult. You don't realize how much your finances are going to impact your future. You know what I mean? Like when you get older, it's like, oh man, like, I had to be careful because there's a lot of debt you can rack up really fast, and you're gonna have to pay for that. You know, so.
Yeah, and I also have another question.
It's funny.
I have another question.
Yeah, sure.
It's the same question, but what time would you go to in the future?
If I can go anywhere in the future, I would go to like the year like 2500 or 3000.
Why that time specifically?
Just because I feel like by that time you would really know what happened in this world. You know what I mean? Like I feel like in the next 100 years or so, we'll get to like AI technology, robots, people are going to be connected to computers, all
Good
that
point.
stuff. But I want to see past that. Like, okay, what happens 500 years to 1,000 years from now? That's what I want to see.
Well, what happens if they actually figure out how to bring toys to life?
Oh, that's funny.
I think
Would
They
you buy
already
it?
they already come alive. What are you talking about, Lee Knight?
I mean,
I mean, like in
Mine
front
comes
of
to
us.
life.
my people say that my toys move sometimes, so you never know. I think it's more like a spirit thing. I think it's a spirit.
It's
Ooh, yeah. Remember that conversation, that whole spirit thing?
Yeah,
Dude, that's creepy.
That was crazy. Yeah.
I actually have a question for you, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, sure.
I already asked you this question, so I'm gonna play this video
Oh, you have it on video?
of when I asked you the question about whether your toys are haunted, because I know I have a haunted Woody doll.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But I'm gonna play this clip, guys. Hey guys, what
up,
is
man?
up? Guess who I have with me right here?
Today I grew up. Check it out.
Today I grew up. Not guy. We are officially
Collaborating.
hanging out here.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, guys?
Dude,
We're gonna go take a.
We just saw Chucky in a window. We saw Chucky
and Annabelle. And I'm freaking out.
Annabelle blinked at you too.
She was staring at me because, oh my god, that's creepy. She was blinking at you.
I think Chucky's alive too.
So I wanted to ask you, are your toys coming alive? Do you have any haunted toys? Because he has a lot of toys.
Dude,
Do any of them come alive?
People have told me that when they watch my videos, they saw a toy move in the background.
Really?
Yeah, but like Jesse or Woody, I don't know why. But it's
Really?
It's possible. I'll have to explore that in a future video.
There you go, guys.
We'll do it in a future video.
Question is asked.
Yeah. Good. You know, it reminds
That
me
was funny.
It reminds me, I didn't tell you this, but when I was filming a scary video for last Halloween and I got the Gabby Gabby doll and I turned the lights off and I was filming her, I wanted to do a thing where she was going to fall forward. But then like she fell before I was able to make her fall. So then it freaked me out. So if you watch that video, it's a genuine reaction of me getting
You know what?
scared.
I think I remember watching
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
She like falls
It's
forward
weird.
and you're just like,
Yeah.
was it like a video on YouTube or like a recording?
Yeah,
on,
no, it's
on
a
your
video for my
Instagram?
YouTube channel. It's a video for my YouTube channel. You can go watch it. It's I think it's called Gabby Gabby is Alive or Comes to Life. And like literally I remember I was filming and then the doll falls and I wasn't wanting her to fall in that moment and then I got freaked out.
You're like, oh, maybe this is real. Maybe this isn't fake.
I'm like, you know, it's just funny when I'm filming stuff like that. That's why I keep Gabby Gabby really hidden because that doll kind of actually freaks me out a little bit.
You know what? I'm gonna ask this question.
Yeah.
Do you think a toy can be haunted?
I think it's possible. I definitely think it's possible. I think anything is possible. You know, when you have things like Bigfoot or UFOs, there's a lot of things in this universe and then especially in space, you know, like we don't really understand everything. And I think anything is possible. That's my thinking is I'm the first person to say, I don't know, maybe.
Possibly, right?
Possibly.
You never know. You never know if something could be in a toy. Fred is like waving his hand. Fred, I'm gonna bring you on.
It's like, what's going on?
I have a question. I just want to say before I ask my question, Joey, I think the reason Annabelle was like looking at you is because you're attractive. I think that's the reason she was looking at you.
Annabelle, she's like,
yeah.
Look.
I'm not gonna lie. The two of you look similar. Like in that video, you basically look like brothers. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're probably brothers.
Yeah, secretly long lost twins. But
long lost brothers.
But I want to ask you. So, how much money do you make off your videos? Like any video you do, like how much money do you make?
Oh wow!
So I'm not gonna say exactly what I make because I want to keep that private. But you know, I make enough to make a living. Let's just put it that way. I'm not rich, but I'm not poor. I make enough to survive. If that makes any sense. So
well, by the looks,
there you go, guys. If anyone tells you that YouTube. Yeah. There's no future in YouTube. There definitely 100% is.
Let's just say this way. When I was working as a therapist and I got my paychecks, at some point YouTube paychecks were bigger than my actual real career job paychecks.
Nah.
So it got to the point where I was like, I have to quit and do YouTube full time and make that my job because I'm getting paid more than my real job in real life. So
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So
what is having both jobs? Which one? I mean, obviously, Which one do you like? Well, obviously you like this one, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah.
Which one do you like better?
I mean, I think I was a therapist and I worked with kids with autism, and I also worked with older adults with mental disorders. I've worked with everything at this point, young to old. And what I want to say is what I did was very important work, and I believe in therapy and I believe in being a therapist. But at a certain point, doing it 9 years, I wanted to take a break. And I was like, you know what? The YouTube was a healthy place, and it was kind of like my coping skill, and it was fun. So I just went for it. And yeah, it was just great. And then I got the money from YouTube and I put it back in the channel. So everything you see behind me was paid for by YouTube. A lot of it was paid for by YouTube.
I have autism, by the way.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's its own thing. It keeps giving and you keep growing, and it's awesome. Lena, do you want to insert some comment?
I just want to say, Breedbot, don't get mad that I'm about to pass 200 subs, okay? Breedbot's getting really mad for some reason in the chat, just saying, I will not.
Let's stay on topic. Let's definitely stay on topic.
He has 200 subs, though. I don't get it.
He doesn't want me to pass his goal. He doesn't want me to pass.
Actually, let me chime in here, and I'll relate it back to what we're talking about. Joey and I were talking about subscribers, and we realized that subscribers don't matter. It doesn't matter how many subs you have.
That's the secret, guys.
Subs don't matter.
Tell them the secret.
People are so like focused on subs. Hey, look, you know what you should focus on? Focus on yourself and what you're doing. And if it's good enough for what you want to do, that should be, make your own happiness is the only way. You know,
subs don't matter.
Yeah, subs don't matter. You know, if your whole life is based on subs, you're doing it wrong. That's what I think. So.
And you know what? Like even YouTube doesn't really care about. Well, I don't want to say this.
Not as much.
For YouTube,
not as much.
But they actually they promote each video, individual video functions. I would say on its own.
They care more about views. It's more about views, honestly, than it is subscribers.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I want to get a good view count.
Yeah, that helps.
Definitely.
Good talk. That's a good question.
Yeah, so tell Breedbot it doesn't matter. Subs don't matter.
Breedbot, did you hear that? Subs don't matter. Okay, good.
Hey, you tell him that, not me.
You're looking that way, Fred. Why are you looking that way?
What do you mean, Fred?
I'm looking towards Leonite, though.
Am I looking towards Fred?
And I'm looking towards you, Joey.
And I'm looking down. Guys, stop.
And I'm looking towards Joey as well.
All right. I'm going to pull out Movie Accurate Woody now.
Oh, yes. Let's see that. Guys, the moment is here. Whoa.
Movie Accurate Woody. He's got all the details. So this is what's cool about Movie Accurate Woody. He took a long time to make. My friend JC Alva helped me modify and paint the hairlines. You see there? So those were hand painted. The eyebrows were resculpted to be straight, kind of like Andy had him in the movie. The badge is from Brazil. That was 3D printed from Brazil. So it's gold and shiny and textured eyes. It's also magnetic, so like you can take it off like Bonnie did. Is it like
a real piece of gold metal, or is it like a plastic?
So it's actually 3D printed. It's 3D printed plastic painted to look like metal.
And you had to do that in Brazil for what reason?
So my friend, because look at the badge. Look how it's textured. You see how it's textured?
Yeah.
So they don't make that. No toy company's ever made a badge that looks like that.
Because it's probably just too much it's just not worth it for the toy.
Exactly. So the toy companies don't care. And then I added the real pearlized buttons. So those are real pearl buttons. So those are fancy.
So you would say that this Woody doll would be the closest you can get to the actual movie?
For me, yes, I could say that. Because if you look at what they gave us from the toy company, like this does not look as much like the movie. Like he's just happy and stuff. But the details are just not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then even the jeans are a little bit darker. It's like
and Woody does change a lot in the movies and stuff, but this was kind of like my favorite thing. And then we got a slow retract feature, so it goes slowly back in his body,
like the movie.
Yeah, and that was really cool. I took the batteries out, but because that's the thing, don't put batteries in your toys and keep them in there because they could corrode and damage your toy. So yeah, it's important. But yeah, it's a great Woody, and I'm pretty proud of it. And I want to make another one actually one of these days, just to show people how to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like more in detail.
That would be cool. You don't have a video where you're showing people how to make the Woody?
I do have that, but I want to do it again because there was things we didn't get on camera the first time that I would want to get the second time. You know, so. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I love Disney and all the Pixar. Do you have like beyond Toy Story? Do you do anything like Pixar, like Finding
Yeah.
Nemo, Monsters Inc.
So
By any chance?
I have a huge love of Star Wars, and like people don't realize that. Like I have like 4 lightsabers. I have a whole wall over here of like Star Wars action figures. I even go to Disneyland and I built my own lightsaber. I've gotten Luke's replica lightsaber. I also love Back to the Future. That's what started my channel. I actually started reviewing Back to the Future stuff. So I have like Marty McFly's hoverboard, and then behind me I also have right here Indiana Jones. So this is like Indiana Jones right here. So I have a lot of Indiana Jones stuff. So yeah, and Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, I'm a huge fan. So I also have some Jurassic Park, Jurassic World toys. So I have a lot of stuff actually, and Sonic toys and TMNT over here. So I have a lot of stuff, a lot of crazy stuff.
Dude, that's
Yeah, I have
that's
dinosaurs. I have dinosaurs in my closet that are like this big, like huge. So I have everything.
dude, that's very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the creative process, like when
Yeah.
you're making a video and stuff. But I wanted to read this email that I got, and I thought it was super super interesting.
Yeah.
I got it from a YouTuber named Janda.
Nice.
So I wanted to read this, and I want to get your thoughts on it. Okay.
Yeah, totally.
So it says the creative process moves through stages. It begins with preparation, a time with the basic information or skills are assembled, and continues on to incubation, a relaxed time during which the person does not work consciously to solve the problem. But when connections are unconsciously made. This then leads eventually to inspiration, the eureka experience, when the person suddenly sees the solution. It ends with production, a time when the insights are put into a useful form. So, with your background in therapy or psychology, what do you think about that?
I think it's it goes back to kind of like a modality. We call them modalities in therapy. One that I call motivational interviewing, and one that I call solution focused therapy. So with motivational interviewing, it's kind of like we spark something inside of us, which is intrinsic, kind of like what you were reading. So there's something inside of us that is going to drive our actions. And that's the thing. People could talk a lot and think a lot, but if those thoughts and those ideas never get put into action, then you're not motivated. You're not moving. You're not taking action. So there's a big step between coming up with an idea, thinking about it, but then actually doing it. Sometimes is this far apart for people, right? They'll get to the point where they're like, okay, I'm ready to jump off. I got the idea. I can do this. I got it. But then when they look at the action, for some people, it's like this close, right? It's like, oh, I can just do it. And they do it. For some people, it's like, oh, there's too much in between these points of thoughts, thinking before action. I feel like I can never take action, so I'm not going to do it. So
Very interesting.
So things like motivational interviewing, I help close that gap for them. So it's like, you know what? Taking action is not as hard or far away as you think it is. It's just you've wired your brain to think it's really this hard, when in reality, maybe it's not so hard to do it, you know?
Yeah. So in your what kind of tips or advice would you give someone to close that gap? Let's say for a YouTube channel, a video, or any type of creative thing.
Yeah. I'll be honest, you know, if I see a lot of people that have depression or anxiety, or even if it's not depression or anxiety, they have performance anxiety. You heard of that? Where it's like, I'm too nervous to be vulnerable on camera, or I'm too nervous or too shy or too scared of what people think. So sometimes fear holds us back. So for whatever it is, that issue, talk it out with somebody. You know, obviously going to a therapist is ideal, but if not, talk to a family member about it. Talk to your best friend about it. Talk to someone who will listen about your fears and worries, because it's scary to take action sometimes because people are afraid, or they're just shy, or there's a million reasons why, like I was talking about. So another part is solution focused therapy, which I always try to goal plan. So goal setting is important. Sometimes people think, I'm never going to be a YouTuber. I'm never going to make a video. I'm never going to make a movie. That's only because you're telling yourself that. But if you make baby step to your bigger goals, that's enough. If you overcame had strength in one day to make a baby step, you're already doing better than you think you are, you know? And so I like to remind people of that. It's like, You know, what is it going to take to motivate you? What is it going to take to get you to take action? What can we goal set for you so that we can make those baby steps into an actual step where you made a step? And that's okay. It doesn't have to be a finished product, right? Just start on the script, you know, or start on the video idea. Doesn't mean you have to have it done in one day. You know, give yourself time. Be patient, you know. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, but that's the general advice I would give is don't be afraid to confront your fears. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody if you don't know how to go forward on your baby step. You know, reach out to somebody who's good at something and ask them, hey, how did you do this? And I do that all the time with my videos. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. So I'll ask people for help. Like my friend, Toy Story NL, I've asked him, hey, how did you do this? You know, and so asking for help is really hard for some people because people don't want to be vulnerable and scared or needy, right? Or whatever it is. But
Yeah.
don't be afraid. Don't be
thing.
afraid to ask.
It's a big thing. I think that's a big thing for millennials.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, that's the best therapist advice I guess I could give, you know.
Dude, that's great. No, I feel like a lot of people fall into that where they have these amazing ideas, but they never get created. Right. You know, there's like, and it creates, I think it even creates anxiety in the person where if they're not being creative, if they're meant to be creative, they're not being creative, they're not fulfilling their purpose or they're not expressing themselves, you know?
Yeah. And that's the thing too. People have rough upbringings. Like maybe people were born in a house where nobody told them, good job, or you're doing a great job, or they didn't have people to emotionally support them, or they didn't have even parents, you know, there's kids in the foster care system. You know, so you never really know where someone comes from. So I'm always super nice to everybody because I'm like, I don't know your story, but whatever it is, I want to help you and I want to help you get where you want to go. And sometimes we have to be our own inner therapist and tell ourselves, what can I do to feel better today? And sometimes if you don't know, that's okay. Just remind yourself to say it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say I'm not okay. It's okay to feel not okay. But ask for help or make steps to get towards that action, right? Otherwise, you're never going to do it. And then you're always going to talk about doing it. And that's the thing. Like, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day and neither was my YouTube channel. I've been doing this for 8 years. And that's what people don't understand. Like, it took a lot of work for me to get here. Like, I don't just have all this money and toys and YouTube fame, you know, and that's not what I do it for. But it's like, this is
it didn't come overnight. It came over a period of hard work and
yeah. So I went to college. I got a degree. I worked in my degree for 9 years. While I was working the last 3-4 years, and I put all the work into YouTube, I was going to bed at 2-3 in the morning every night. Because, you know, so I was wanting this so bad that I never gave up. So that's why I always tell people, and it's really important to remind the audience out there who's watching, always work hard, never give up, put your mind to it, dream big, and you can accomplish anything. You can make impossible into possible. Just how bad do you want it, you know? And if you feel stuck or you feel scared or you feel whatever it is that's stopping you from taking action, from having these ideas, ask for help. You know, there's a lot of people like me. You can reach out to me, reach out to Joey, reach out to people, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. So yeah, that's
Toy Story. Yeah, Toy Story NL said, "Hard work pays off."
Yeah, exactly. It does. It really does. You know, so. I definitely agree.
Any comment, Lee Knight, on this? Lee Knight's a big...
In the words of Jerry, you can't rush art.
Yeah, it's true.
Great.
He was just. Good. I love how you like put your phone down. Like, oh my, I was on my phone.
I'm on the chat.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
So, did you you said that you make that through YouTube, you make more money than like your last job.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you use most of it to pay for all that like Toy Story collection, or did you already have that?
So I already had a lot of toys before YouTube paid me money to have toys. But I've been collecting since 2009. Back in the day, I didn't make any YouTube money. So that was all my personal money that I saved for. And then later on, last year was a transition where I was like, okay, money's coming in. So now I could afford to buy a computer, a good computer, or even this mic. I paid this mic for YouTube money. So I have a good audio mic or, you know, just little things like that. Like my utility belt buzz cost $600. and I couldn't have bought that if I didn't have YouTube. So,
Oh,
it's
jeez.
stuff like that where it's just like I just
Mate,
put the
you're
money back into the
very risky with your money. Very, very risky.
Exactly.
Why is that risky? What's risky about that?
He's spending most of his money on toys.
He's spending over $100 on toys.
But that's
All
what he
right, all right,
loves, right?
all
That's
right.
what you
Now-
love.
Now
I know,
listen
but
to
that's what
this.
he loves.
Right now,
That's
listen to
why
this.
you work hard.
Yeah.
That's
Listen
my
to this.
opinion.
Listen to this. I invested. I'll admit this. I invested $8,000 to $10,000 in this channel last year, and I made 4 times.
Woo!
I made 4 times that investment. So it's not a dumb decision because it helped pull in more viewers. It helped pull in more cash for the collection, and also to just share it with everybody. So all the money I get,
What the heck?
I use it to share it with people. So it's not really for me. Because think about it. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, I probably wouldn't have bought that utility belt Buzz. I'll be honest. I probably wouldn't have spent $600 on that. But I know the fans want it. And
Yeah, your
I
fans want
too.
it. It's for you.
But
It's for yourself. It's
I'm
for your
doing
channel.
it for you guys, So, yeah. So that's what I do. I share the wealth with you guys, the viewers. And so that's why I do it. That's why I spend the money to do that. So
This is such a hot topic on
Yeah.
YouTube where people wonder and they're asking, and it's funny.
yeah.
But that's cool, though. Thank you for being transparent on
Of
that.
course.
That's kind of cool,
I'm
too.
definitely honest about it.
Also,
No,
I
go
just
ahead.
want to say that out of all, I mean, to be fair, I'm a teenager, so I am a fan of loads of YouTubers. But out of all of them, and I'm not ditching you out, Joey, don't worry. But out of all of them, you probably have the coolest editing kind, and also you have the coolest kind of videos, the way that you create stuff that no one else creates. I thought the same of Joey, because he turned a really cute little Toy Story character into a killer, so no other guy would do that. And
That's
you,
true.
for instance, you invented that string on that giant Woody. You invented the opening.
Hey, I want
box.
that shirt, by the way. That pull me string shirt.
Yeah, I will. I'll probably sell them in my shop.
I'm a huge fan. Will there be a fan show season 4?
Yes. So there's going to be a fan show season. By the way, for Fred, I want to say thank you for all your kind words. I really appreciate you, and you've been a big supporter of the channel. So thank you
problem.
for being an awesome subscriber.
I should probably submit. I need to submit.
Tonight you're slacking. Don't be a slacker. Like back to
Yeah.
I want to be a slacker. I want to be a slacker.
Yeah,
Mr. Strickland says, slacker.
Mr. Strickland.
Like that
slacker.
comment, like the comment he gives Marty. You got a real attitude, you know that. You
Just like your father.
Yeah, and number 2, yes, I'm going to do season 4 in the end of the summer. So I always do the fan show twice a year. It's going to be in the spring, and now it's going to be in the fall.
Hey, can I be in the fan show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Where's your
Can
video?
can I make a submission? No,
Yeah,
just-
make a submission.
Wait, hang on a second. It's spring in America right now.
Yeah.
So, and it's autumn here in Australia, or fall. So that means if
Fall
it's
would be like September of.
oh, it's opposites. Oh, okay. So that's all right. If you put an episode up on my birthday, which is September 10th, please include me in it. I'll try.
Sounds
Well,
good.
no, I got TodayIGrewUp. Don't add Joey in, because you'll just let him win. All the fans will vote for him. He'll
Well,
just
actually-
basically win.
Hey, you never know.
Well,
You
actually,
never know.
it's a drawing. So whatever he's gonna pick he picks the winner. I put tape on his
Oh.
hand, and he puts it in the bucket, and he'll pick the winner.
Wait, are we drawing? Do we have to draw the best picture?
You can do whatever you want. You don't have to do a video. You can do a drawing. You can do whatever you want. But usually,
Well,
That's
hopefully I can
right.
send some fan mail to you. Fan mail, because you're doing mail Mondays.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm doing that today, actually.
yeah, but you know what's kind of creepy? The Woody at the start's like, "Hey, howdy, hey, partners."
I made
wanna-
Woody talk. It's pretty.
to all of the future contestants of season 4, I want to say sorry to all of you, but I'm gonna win this. I'm a great drawer.
Well, there's gonna be a great toy giveaway. That's a secret.
We'll see about that, Fred.
Oh yes, we will tonight. I'm gonna
It's gonna
get
be
you
great.
for that.
Other way,
Always-
Fred, other way. Other way.
Remember, I'm giving this away for season 3 winner. I'm giving one lucky fan this 2-pack.
Season 3
Season 3. There's
giveaway.
3 episodes left. We're on episode 7 this Friday, so it's not too late. So
So I want to take a few more minutes to give some
Yeah.
people in the comments an opportunity to ask, or at least for me to even read them, because I have not been looking at the comment section, guys.
No problem.
I did see one very interesting comment from somebody, Excalibur. Here's one. And this is when we were talking before about like the gap between like creativity and getting it done.
Oh yeah, totally.
Somebody said, well, what if people reject you every time? I thought that was an interesting question from somebody.
That happens. Yeah, and that's true. That does happen. I think this is where it's a very delicate question and a delicate answer, because everybody values something a little bit different. You know, like there's some people who make things and they seek validation or they seek the approval of others. And I really think that it's backwards ideology, because if you really think about it, if you're only making content for like just to get verbal praise or verbal, response from people, that's probably not the way to go. Just because it's kind of unhealthy for you to measure your success or what you're doing in the hands of someone else. I think you're giving the audience too much power, and it should be more of a balance. You have to do things that make you happy, do things that you love, and if people don't approve of it, that's okay. And as long as you're doing something that you're happy with, that should be good enough. And that's the thing. There's a lot of people who told me not to have toy collection because I'm an adult, or not to do YouTube because you're not going to make money on YouTube.
That. Oh my god, right? That's like
So you can't listen to people. That's the danger. That's what I want to tell you is I'm going to tell you right now. Do not listen to other people to base what you should do. It should be the other way around. If you're doing something that makes you happy, guess what? You're going to attract the right people to you, and those people are going to help support you. And that's what happened with me. Not everybody loves my channel. Not everybody likes what I do, but that's okay. I can't just hold on to the negative comments. I have to embrace this positive, because I'm doing what I love and I'm happy. Guess what? Now I have an audience that supports my vision. And I think that's a better, healthier way to think about that. That's my best advice for that kind of question.
I agree. I don't
know if you want to add to that. Yeah.
I do. Actually, I really can't relate to that. It's funny to say I'm saying this.
Yeah.
Not in the comment, being afraid of rejection. I've never really was afraid of rejection for my YouTube channel. I never even paid attention to the dislike button, and I didn't realize how much people pay attention to that.
Yeah.
So guys, yes, listen to Today I Grew Up. I mean, don't worry about what people are gonna say, what they're gonna think about it.
Yeah, because it's just gonna.
I know I never did, and I still don't. I still don't care. I actually enjoy getting rejected. Is that
That's another issue that we'll talk about later. No,
oh my god, are we gonna have?
No,
is that bad?
I think.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I think you like that because I think for you take it as a challenge. Like maybe that's like the negative attention. It's like, oh, like why don't they? What's wrong with it then? And maybe that's a way for you to process it differently, where you're like, let me look at it through the eyes of somebody who doesn't like me and why they think that way. I don't know. That's just a guess. But.
No, I do, dude. You're on it. Like what I never noticed the down buttons, but then I look at it on some videos and I'm like, oh, I wonder why they dislike it. And then it's more like mental versus like emotional.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know people never really hate who you are. They hate themselves. I don't know.
It could be that. I think a lot of people are jealous too. Like maybe some people see you and they're like, oh, I wish I had that many subs, or I wish I had what he had, or the audience that he has. People are jealous, and it's sad because I think jealousy is such a wasted emotion. I would never be jealous of anybody, or if people are jealous of me, I feel for them. I want to hug them and say, don't be jealous. Like, we're just here to share our passions for these movies together, and we're trying to do something positive for each other. So I think the one problem I see on social media right now is people value their whole self-worth on what the audience or the internet has to say about them. And that's super dangerous, because you're basically saying, I'm not strong in loving myself to be okay on my own without the audience validation or people validating that what I'm doing is okay. And I think that's something that is a mental health issue that we should talk about. We should work on that, because I feel like
this is so good.
Right? We're going to only hurt ourselves.
Coming from you too, coming from your background. It's just interesting. You're a YouTuber and you have that background of mental health. And obviously everyone always says, how is social media affecting kids these days with their mental health? Like they're growing up in a different age that we didn't grow up in.
Yep.
So that's super interesting.
Yeah, like I didn't grow up with a phone. I didn't have iPads. I was a 90s kid. I'll tell people I was a 90s kid. You know, I didn't have my cell phone until I was in college. Like, you know, so like I didn't grow up with it, but I understand it because I've been working with kids for a long time. I've been working with teenagers and adults now, and I see the same problem over and over again. People are so like scared because they're measuring their whole value and self-worth on the thoughts and opinions of strangers on the internet. And that to me is mind-blowing. Like they're strangers. You don't really know these people. Like, and you're giving them the power to affect you in an emotional way. That is an unhealthy way to think about it, because you're only hurting yourself when you give strangers on the internet power to influence your thoughts and your potential. You know what I mean? So
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That's great, man. That's a good
Oh yeah. So don't care about what people think. Just do what you love.
Do what you love. Follow your heart. Work really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Set goals.
Set goals.
Take baby steps. I'm kind of just going over what you said.
Take baby steps to the bigger goal. You know, don't think you have to be Superman and like, you know, be like, oh, I want to be this YouTuber. You shouldn't try to be someone you're not. Never try to be someone you're not, because you are your own person. You are special in your own way. There's only one of you in the whole world. So embrace your special, your uniqueness. You're different. Celebrate it, and that's.
And the funny thing is, when you're different, when you're yourself, you actually stand out, and it gives you better chances to grow. It's so weird. It's a weird thing.
It's true. Yeah, and that's what happened to me. Like I modify Woody toys, and like I do all kinds of crazy stuff, and I'm just doing what I love. And
exactly right. You never thought, I wonder if modifying Woody toys is gonna it's gonna blow up a channel. You know,
I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't doing this for fame or clout or whatever you call it. Like, I just really want to make people happy. You know, and by me doing what I'm doing happy, if I'm happy, people are gonna be happy. That's the vibe. You know, that's the energy.
Yeah. So Lena wrote a really cool comment. I think I'd rather just bring you on so you can just say it, Lena.
No, I wanted to say something else other than my comment. Can I call you David on this? Am I allowed to call you David?
Yeah, people know my name is David. So that's
all right. Well, David, I totally agree with you being with all this self and being just yourself in the world. But you know how many people have actually A, copied me because they want views, and B, because they just want to get the clout. So many people just want it. Yeah. And so I understand you've given lots of advice in this live, but what's your number one main advice to people who are like right now, who are like just reposting videos that have already been uploaded that's got lots and lots of views? What would you say to that?
I would say, yeah. So number one, if you're worried about people copying your content, there's a tool on YouTube. If you go to YouTube Studio and you go to copyright section, you can actually see who has your video content and where it's at. And you can actually ask YouTube to remove it so that they can't continue to monetize your content. So it's possible YouTube will help you remove those videos. So if you're worried about that, you can fix that. But number two, the people who actually do those things, you just have to kind of forgive them and move on.
Because a lot of people have done that to me.
It's a waste of energy and time to fight with someone or argue with someone when you know they're never going to be like, oh, you know what, Lenite, you're right. I was wrong. People don't do that. People are stubborn.
That's not how the world works.
Exactly. So my best advice is you can't control what other people say or do. You're never going to be able to control or say what people, or you can't control what people say or do. So the best advice is you can control what you say and do. So try to be a good person, and a good person, I think, would not argue, would not engage, would not waste energy. Move on and block that person if you have to, if they're trying to get you mad or under your skin. It's not worth fighting for. Just move on.
Yeah.
And block them. And that actually happened to me. I'll tell you one quick story. This guy on Facebook, I'm not going to say his name to make him famous, but he basically lied to me and said, oh, I did this mod. Here, my dad helped me do this mod. And then I featured the video, got like 40,000 views. And then later on, he's like, oh, I just lied. That wasn't my video. I just did it to get follows on Instagram off of you. And I was like, wow, okay. So
That sucks.
That's a move.
that.
That's a really risky
So
move.
he literally went, he just stole the
Yeah.
video and said, I did this.
Yeah. And then the original creator messaged me and said, hey, I don't know who that kid is, but that's my content. And I was like, oh man, I had no idea this kid lied to me, like basically. So obviously I made it right with the original creator, and now we're going to collab in the future and we're good. But that kid, he's like, oh, thanks for not blasting me on social media. I'm like, number one, I don't want to make him famous for his mistakes. Number two, you know, it's not worth it for me to get revenge or anything like that. So for me, like I say, like, don't let that stuff bother you. Like, people are going to be toxic. People are going to be mean. People are going to be trolls. People are going to be bullies. The best advice is to ignore them, because what they want is a reaction from you. What they want is something from you so they could use that even more for something else. So my best advice is just not worth your time and energy. Block that person, or at least forgive them if you can, and move on, you know.
David, I've just got one more question.
Sure.
I have a friend at school, and he's a bit different. He sort of acts like a little kid, and we're in year 7 now, right? And when somebody like just gives him a pat on the back, he does really crazy things and just puts hand sanitizer on his head and puts hand sanitizer on his back. And I'm just wondering, what advice can I give him to get him out of this childish state? Advice, not how I can make him change. Just what advice?
I would say, if this is the rule, this is a general rule I love to tell everybody. If it's not hurting you directly or hurting another person directly, and he's not hurting himself with doing this, then you have to stay in your lane and kind of just stay out of it, because this is where people can overstep boundaries. And let's say that's something that just means something for him, that helps him in some way that we can't understand. We can't be the judge of that. We can't, just because we wouldn't do it for ourselves means we should look at that and be like, hey, you're weird, don't do that. Just, you know, because we don't understand. And I think people do things in this world because we don't understand them, and that's okay. We just have to learn to respect people's differences. And, you know, we might not know the reason. What if he has like a mental disorder, or he's on a spectrum for autism, even, for example?
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Him, you know, so
yeah, like
we can't do that. You know, if it's
I know.
not hurting him.
And Lena, question for you: why does it bother you?
Yeah.
Well, because back in primary school, or as you Americans call it, elementary school. We were really good friends, and just COVID just wrecked our relationship, and he mainly hangs out at the library most of the time during lunch and recess, and he just doesn't really he doesn't understand.
Well, I would say, like, you know, if he's your friend, why not ask him, like, hey, I was just curious, like, is that help you in some way? Like, it's always okay to ask people questions. Just respect their boundaries. Like, if he says, oh, I don't want to talk about that, then we got to respect that he doesn't want to talk about it. But maybe he's open to talking to you about it. Maybe there's a reason why.
Good point.
You know, I would say always ask questions. Don't force your will upon people, even if you don't agree. Just, like I said, as long as if he's hurting himself or others, tell an adult, tell someone to help you. But if he's not, just ask him questions. If he wants to talk about it, great. If he doesn't, we just have to respect, you know, people's differences, you know.
All right.
That's my best advice.
Thank you, Lena, for the questions. Yeah. This is great. I love this. This is cool. These questions, the way they're expressing themselves, the answers you're giving, that's cool.
Thank you.
We're going to take one last question from Fred, and then we're going to close out. Poke, I know you're here. If you want to ask a question, just kind of wave your hand. I do want to give you a chance to ask a question, but let's take Fred's right now.
All right, so I have a question, and then I have something to say, importantly. So my question for you is, like, I should ask Joey this from time to time, but, like, do you enjoy editing your videos?
I actually have learned to enjoy editing videos more than I used to, because in the beginning, it was kind of a chore, like, oh, I have to edit this, I have to edit that. And, you know, there's times where I'm, like, editing a video, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of work. But I've learned to embrace it and love it, because I love the end result. You know, it's not that I love editing. It's more like I love the end result. So I love editing to get the final result. You know what I mean? So for me, I like to connect those dots and be like, you know what? I don't care what it takes. I don't care if it's going to take me 3 hours to edit this, but if I'm doing something I love and I love the end product, to me, I just focus on the bigger goal. And that's what helps me get through something I don't like. And that's a secret, I guess, I can share with people is how do you get through something if you have to do things you don't love? Well, why don't you think of the bigger picture? Think of the positive aspects of what you're doing. And so for me, I have such a positive mindset. I look at something like a chore, like editing, not like a chore. I look at it as a tool to help me get to the bigger picture. So that's what I do. That's my best advice.
Good.
You know, flip the narrative. When something is sour or negative, tell your brain, how can I make this positive? You know, and that was the way I made it positive for me. So,
I find my videos, like when it's vlogging or anything else, it is hard. I do find it hard work, but fun. But when when I create movies, I enjoy editing them so bad, like so much, because I can rewatch the cool clips that we film as I'm editing it, because I love making movies so much.
Well, maybe that's your passion. Maybe that's something you should pursue more. If you know that's something that you love, why don't you just work on that? You know,
definitely.
More. You know,
and I want to just give a message to Lee Knight. When you brought up that kid, mad respect to him, because we all suffer from mental health, and like me included. Like last year, I went through.
Wait, what kid? Oh, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like last year, I went through some like dark times. Like before I met you and Lee Knight, I had like I shouldn't be saying this on a kid's channel. To be,
it's all right, Fred. Let it out.
But like I went through some like self-harming, and I wasn't in the right place, but I got help from my parents and my family, and I overcame from that. And now whenever I like any of my friends in school like end up getting upset or have the same thoughts as me, I am always the one that's there to like bring them down and just like say it's all right, not like here's my saying, this is my motto, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
Because like whenever you're feeling down, you can always just tell yourself it's all right. Everyone gets these feelings. You shouldn't.
Fred, I'll make sure that goes on the grave. It's okay. It's okay not to be okay. That goes on your grave.
You're just gonna steal my motto now, you.
No, that goes on your grave. It goes on your grave.
Yeah.
No, but that's great, Fred. I really appreciate you for being vulnerable with us and sharing your story. I think that's really important because you know your story is going to touch and help somebody else who may be struggling through the same thing. And that's why I've already told people, like, even if you're not a therapist, in a way you are for yourself and for others, just make sure that you're okay first, because broken doesn't fix broken, and you have to help others when you're in a better place. And so that's good. You did the right thing. You talked to your family. I hope you saw a therapist at some point, and you know you're doing better now. So that's great, man. So congratulations.
I'm completely fine now, and thank you for giving us all these talks on this live. It's been so amazingly fun.
It really has. It really has, David. It really has.
I try my best. Thank you. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. You're the best fans.
No, thank you.
No problem, mate.
In my 400 subs special, I gave your channel a shout out. I shown all of my fans, and I put your channel in it.
Cool. Thank you so much, Fred. You're awesome.
No problem.
Night, don't be a slacker.
I won't be a slacker.
Don't be a slacker, Lee Knight.
I won't be a slacker.
All right,
guys, this was awesome. Thank you guys so much. I think this is a good time to end it.
Yeah.
We're at 58 minutes. Later, Woody.
Bye, Woody.
See you later, guys.
Hey, Woody.
Later today.
Hey, guys.
I'll see you guys on Mail Monday. That's coming up next on my channel.
See you on Mail Monday.
See you on Mail Monday.
Be there, Lee Knight.
I'll see you guys backstage, actually. I'll see you guys backstage. Hopefully.
Oh, okay. No problem.
See you.